Hello guys, it's nice seeing you again. This is about 3.5 months since we started this yam farm, and it is important we bring you some updates. That is why we are here this morning. This is how my yam farm is now. You can see how beautiful they are. You remember this place that we planted our seed yams? All these places that you are seeing, they are seed yams. And of course, the taller ones are the way yams. We have both the white yams as well as the water yams, all planted here. But I've decided to bring us updates today because it is important you know what we are doing and the progress report. But as for you that you've been following me, I really appreciate that, and I'm sure you have learned quite a lot from us. But I want you to do something for me. I want to know the stage of yam farming that you are in currently. I would appreciate if you can send pictures, and if you want, with your permission, we can post it on our community page for others to also see and get encouraged. Whether you are a commercial yam farmer like me or you are a backyard gardener that plants yam, I cover both and I can help you. Whatever challenge you are going through right now, just let us know. We'll be able to offer help. If we can't, we'll reach out to people who can help you. So that's an opportunity you should leverage on. So let's get started on what we have today. So guys, in one of our videos, I talked about the use of long stakes as one of my secrets for getting large tubers. If you're a commercial yam farmer, of course you want to grow large tubers so that you can make money. Now, this is the reason why I love using long stakes. Check out this particular stake. It's far over 15 feet tall. You can see that the vines, they've gotten to the top and they even went further. Now, this one was another stake that I extended at some point there. You see the extension, the vines, they've climbed up to that. So almost all over my farm, you see very long stakes and the vines, they've all gone up. This is one of the things that I do to make sure I get large tubers. With time, they will form very thick canopies. For example, let's see some of these ones that have formed very, very bushy canopies. All right. For example, this one now, there are several ones that are connected, but of course the stakes were very long and they form very bushy canopies. That's one of the things. And I'm very, very certain that they are going to do very, very well. That's one of the updates I want to bring to you. Another one, you remember when we were talking about cutting cost, we made mention of the fact that you plant your seed yams alongside with your way yam. That is, you can portion them, but you can also have them all on the same heap, both your way yam and your seed yam. This is an update on that. I told you that all you need to do is to just plant it by the side. This is the seed yam, while this is the way yam. So what's happening here now, I didn't bother to stake this one. All I needed to do was for the seed yam to just follow the way yam. And of course, you can see that it has gone. It will go as long as it can. And at the end, I will harvest both the seed yam, the way yam and the seed yam, depending on what I want to do with them. That's one of the ways I cut costs. There are other ways to cut costs. You know, that video was a part 1. So let's make this more like a little bit of the part 2. Now, one of the ways I cut costs is to plant some other crops alongside with my yam. If you look at this maize, but it's old now, I've harvested. All right. Now, what I have done, I've harvested the first batch of maize within about 70 days. Of course, this farm is just about 3.5 months or thereabout, a little above 3 months. I've already harvested my maize and I made some money, recovered some money to at least take care of the cost for weeding. But that's not just, or there are other things you can plant. You can plant pepper, and some persons also plant things like melon, even watermelon. Some plant cucumber alongside with the yam, and it will just follow the same stake. I have done that. But on the other portion of the farm, that's a discussion for another day. But one thing I also want to bring to your notice is this. You can plant maize twice. I have planted and I've harvested the first batch. These are some of the remnants you are seeing here. But this is the second batch I planted. This is the second batch. They've just started coming up. So I'm planting maize twice. And of course, I'm going to realize some production cost from that other maize. So that's one of the ways you can also cut costs in your yam farm. There are a lot of things that we're also going to bring to your notice. Let's go to the other side. The next important update I want to bring to us is on weeding your farm. One of the major problems in yam farming that will reduce yield is not weeding on time. It's very important you do that now. Now, this my yam farm, as it stands now, I've done weeding twice, and this is just the first 3 months, because I don't want any weed to compete with my yam. If you look around now, it looks relatively neat. Let me even tell you, you can still find some weed around. This one is even after weeding twice. Now, of course, you see this part, because we just started weeding for the second time now. You see this part? We've already done first weeding. Now we are doing the second one. Now, what I want to tell us about weeding is that there are two schools of thought. For very large farms, people will prefer to use chemical method, spray the farm, and of course get the weed out of the way. But for backyard farms and farms that are not so large, some other persons will just employ people to weed the farm for them. I want you to understand that choice will be yours eventually. For me, I kind of prefer to do manual weeding because I don't want the chemical to touch any part of my crop. I don't want to lose anything. And sometimes, some of the roots can be exposed. I don't want the chemicals to touch. That is why sometimes I prefer to use areas where I know are very sensitive. I do manual weeding. Now, in doing manual weeding, there are several ways. Some persons use hoes. Now, for me, I fabricated this instrument. Although I pay people to do that, I have staff, I have workers. But I just wanted to show us this. If your farm is not so large and you want to do the weeding, one of the best ways you can just do it yourself. This is one of the instruments I love. It's a hoe, but a very long one. I don't have to bend down because of waist pain. I don't want waist pain. So I'll just use this. It's a hoe, but the secret is this: let this pipe be light, and of course you bevel the working surface so that it will be convenient for you. For example, let's just do this. So you see that it is very convenient. I don't have to bend down, and before you know it, I have done quite a lot. To weed this line wouldn't take me a few minutes, and so I'll just get it all done. All right, now this is just to demonstrate. You can see this part now. In a few seconds, I've been able to, weed this. So you can just do that and continue. Now, one thing you should know about weeding is this: when you weed, you don't need to remove the weed. You just remove the sand so that it won't regerminate again, but leave the debris all around your heap. The reason is this: it will decay and add to the soil what it has taken. So it's a win-win situation for you. You are not losing anything really. So weeding is very, very key in your yam farm. Okay, for those who have yams in sacks, don't think I've abandoned you. I have an update to give you here. In our previous videos, I showed us how we can elongate our sticks. So these sticks, they were very, very long. I had about 3 major ones here. But I want to show you a mishap. What happened? I forgot to use binding wire to bind this one. When I connected it to this other one, it has fallen now. So when the weight was much, it collapsed. So this is one of the things I want to show you. It's an update, but it's a mishap that happened with my yam in sack. So, but I still have an opportunity because other ones, they are long. and the vines, they are doing quite well. I still hope to get very good yield from this. And apart from that, of course, see the bags will, some of them will start breaking really, you know. They are not staying till the end of the season per se. But of course, I'm not so worried because the soil, they are all still intact. The developing tubers are inside. They are not exposed. If they were to be exposed, I will use soil to cover. This is one of the updates. But to prevent this, always use binding wire. But then it can also happen with the one that you have on hips, not just inside. Let me show you something else there and see how we can overcome that. The next thing I want to talk about is foliar fertilizer application. This is the time that is very crucial for you to apply foliar fertilizer. There are a lot of them out there, and I use quite a number. I have different types that I love to use. Mainly, I love organic ones. And again, if you are watching this video and you are into manufacturing of foliar fertilizer, you could partner with us so that we can do some reviews for you and give you updates, at least an opportunity for our audience to also know your product. So we are ready for partnership. Now, you can see the vines are looking very beautiful. I apply a lot of foliar fertilizers. Again, I use organic manures a lot. I have a pit where I dump all of them, and all through the year I always have them so that I can apply at certain times. Now if you can see, these leaves, they are looking far darker than these other ones. Of course, it also tells the age. That's a discussion for another day where we'll have to tell you the different variations in color and how you can, to a very large extent, guess the age of it. So if you have not subscribed, it's an opportunity for you to do because you will be learning quite a lot from us. So the foliar fertilizer application is very key. For you that use NPK, it's also the time to use your NPK. We've uploaded videos on how these fertilizers can be applied, either organic or inorganic. Check our playlist on everything you need to know about yam farming. We have them all there. So this is 3 months. It's a very crucial time. For some of these yams now, they are already producing tubers, obviously, and you need to feed them at this crucial time. We've uploaded videos on timing, on how to know the things to do at different times. So do well to look at those videos if you have not looked at them. So foliar fertilizer, if you are not applying, try and get some and use them to make your yam give you a very, very good yield. Let's go for some other updates. So this is this staking update I want to give to us. This stake got broken, and of course there are yam vines that have already climbed even to the top. Unfortunately for me, I did not come on time to discover that it has broken. So what happened was that all the vines climbed to the other stake that it rested on. Ideally, I wanted to just reposition it by digging another stake hole. But when I tried to remove it, I discovered that it was already attached to the other stake. This kind of situation, there's no need for you to remove it again. You could just leave it and it will just continue that way. But if you discover on time, that is why it's very important. Once there is heavy downpour or heavy wind, you should go around your farm to see if the stakes are okay. So if anyone is broken, you can just quickly remedy the situation before the vines start to climb on others. So it is very important you always go around your farm to note that. There's one more tip I want to give us, very crucial. I left that last one for the end of this video. Let's go there. Now guys, this is a crucial update I want you to take note of. During heavy downpour or very heavy rains, your hips, the rain will begin to wash them down, and you have exposures of the tubers that are being formed with roots being exposed. Now this is very important. You need to make sure that the roots are covered. And so this very last practice I want to talk about today is covering the exposed forming tuber or roots with soil during the yam season. Is very key. For some traditions, there is a specific name they even give to it, and I'm sure for yours too. There are two options to this to cover. Now, it's either you take your planting hole and tip up, of course, soil around the heap and put back, because that's the soil that was lost. But for me, I'm very, very skeptical about that. The reason is this: these yams that you can see here, they all have their roots around here. So, for example, if I tip this now, very likely I'm going to, encounter or cut roots. Like you can see, you see this root now, I have just cut it. And of course, that root is very important to this. You see some of the root now, to this developing yam. I don't like doing this, but this is what most people do. I really don't like doing this. I'll just take the pain to go elsewhere, get soil in my wheelbarrow or whatever means of transport I use. I just put my soil there, get soil from another portion, and do same instead of me taking soil from here. Because if I take from here, I will still end up destroying roots, and those roots, they would have helped to make the yam develop more. So this is a crucial practice that you should try as much as possible to do. Now, before we end this video here, I want to show you some experiments that we are carrying out. I want you people to subscribe to our channel if you have not done so. The reason is this: you have a lot of things to learn. We are experimenting so much on yam in sack because actually that is, in quote, the future for food security when it comes to the issue of yam. Urbanization is growing, and urban farming is something that we should be looking into critically. And that is why we are doing a lot to make sure that yam in sack is well enhanced. There's an experiment that we have been doing on how to grow yam in sack. It is something that you have not seen before. So I will just leave the hint at the end of this video. But do well to subscribe to our channel. And again, watch all our videos that are related to this update, especially timing accurately, as well as how to cut costs in yam farming. Don't go away until you see that hint, and whatever you discover in the hint, I want us to discuss it further in the comment section. But then, before I finally go, if you have any issues, just DM me. My contact is on the description of this particular video. Whatever problems you have, we will definitely give you a heads up on how to solve them. Thank you so much for always supporting our channel, and God bless.